Welcome to the Coach's Sons podcast. It's happened. Round one of the playoffs is done. Every team has either been swept or got a game in, but let's talk about it. My name's Andrew.
I'm Chris.
And Chris, I know you're chomping at the bit to talk about your Mariners and who they have to play and how you're going to win that series. But let's hold off and let's talk about the series first. Before we get to that, again, thank you to our good friends at Chinook Eatery. Use our code CoachesSonsPod at checkout to get 10% off. I'll match your order. You've heard me say it 1,000 times. Still there. Let's move on. Chris, where do you want to start? What series do you want to start talking about? Were there any real surprises? I think we both got the Guardians and the Tigers wrong and the Cubs and the Padres wrong.
We did. We got both of those wrong.
We got those wrong. Now, I picked the Red Sox, which we know is a fail, but, I mean, are we really surprised by those other two at all? I don't think I am, because we knew they were tight races, right, as far as that was going to go. I think the Guardians is a little more surprising to me. What about you?
The Guardians is definitely surprising. So with that said, let's just start there.
Okay.
Tigers Guardians game one. Let's back up. We know what happens, right? The Tigers take it down. They win the series 2-1. Game one, Tarek Skubal comes out and does Tarek Skubal things. 7.2 innings, 3 hits, only 1 earned on like a very Guardians-esque run scoring.
Did he have like
play.
14 strikeouts or something like that?
14 strikeouts through 107 pitches.
Electric.
Closer comes in, finishes it up. Not a very high-scoring game, ends 2-1. But Skubal did his job in a 3-game series. That's huge, right? So that they kind of had command from the get-go. And I believe, I don't know the exact number, but what I do know is in this era of wild card round, these 3-game series, it was like 100% success rate if you win the first game. And it turns out that is 100% success rate to win the series if you win the first game.
It's not true.
Okay.
The Red Sox won game one.
I said prior to these series.
Right? Oh, prior to this year. Gotcha.
So, yeah, you're a step ahead of me. But anyway, but the Tigers kept that consistent, right? They were the first series that went off. They played the first game every single day. So they went ahead, took care of business. Now, game one. So I think this is across the board, actually. So all the game ones seem to have, all the aces were going, all the hosses were on the mound. So Gavin Williams, even for the Guardians, he went 6 strong, only gave up 2 runs, none of them being earned, 8 strikeouts. So again, 2-1 baseball game. Both pitchers went pretty well. Going into game 2, and again, I feel this is the same all across the board. There were no like real dominant pitching performances, and that's everywhere, right? Like Tanner Bybee, Casey Mize, they all had, neither of them went 5 innings. The bullpens had to do their thing.
The hook is fast. The hook is fast in the playoffs for sure.
Yeah, and especially when it's a winner take all, right? Guardians need to win. And I think I got it backwards. But anyway, the Guardians take second game 6-1. It took them till the 8th inning to kind of break through. Rocchio hits a solo bomb. A couple guys on base. Bo Naylor hits another home run. There isn't much to talk about, right? There wasn't like a ridiculous, pitching performance. The Guardians pieced it together with their bullpen, right? They only gave up 1 run the entire game. And then last but not least, Jack Flaherty versus Slade Cecconi, not your, superstar pitching matchup that you'd expect out of an elimination game, but it is what it is. Neither pitcher went 5 innings again, right? We're in that point where you're getting, like you said, the quick hook. Bullpens need to be relied upon. And in the battle of this bullpen, the Tigers prevail, right? Guardians give up 5 runs in there, 4 1/3. The Tigers didn't. Jose Ramirez tried to spark a little comeback. Not so much. So
too little, too late.
All that the Guardians did, right? That collapse we talk about with the Tigers, right? We won all those games, and none of it matters. They're still in the divisional series, right? They didn't slip up. Because regardless if they won the division or not, they would have had these games at home, but they still took care of business, right? They probably weren't going to get a bye anyway. So They did what they needed to do. They're in where they thought they were going to be. So that the season wasn't all lost. We just thought, we both had Guardians winning 2-1. We assumed that wave was going to be ridden by the Guardians playing this like chaos ball style, just doing random shit to score runs. And it was working for a little while. And then finally, the Tigers had enough of it. The bigger names prevailed, right? The Kerry Carpenters of the world, the Gleyber Torres of the world, obviously Tarek Skubal, they came to play. They did their job, and they're going on to the divisional series. They're going to play the Mariners. I'm not going to jump into that. We'll do each wild card first and then do the divisional breakdown later.
I mean, we were just trying to ride the hot hand, and the Guardians had won 5 of the 6 games that they played each other in the last 12, right? So it looked like the Guardians were the team to bet on. It looked like it was the right horse, and it wasn't. That's that's racing, right? So
yeah. I mean, that's postseason baseball too, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like I said, a 3-game series, when your ace goes 7 2/3, gets you 14 Ks, it's a very easy. Not very easy. It makes it a little easier. Not any less stressful, right? Still need to go to game 3. They still need to do their job. But at the same time, when Skubal's over there prevailing and doing everything he's doing, it makes it so much easier that you only have to win 1 of 2 now, as opposed to 2 straight without any Skubal. Yeah. So they move on. They're going to play the Mariners. We'll talk about that here in a couple minutes after we just knock out the rest of these. Let's stay in the AL for what we said was probably the most intriguing matchup overall. And I don't think it disappointed at all.
Not until game 3.
But it had its own flair, right? It lived up to the hype. For what it's worth, you had 2-1 Red Sox. You were completely wrong. I had 2-0 Yankees, so I was half right,
also
half
completely wrong.
Yeah. So back to that conversation of game 1 and star pitching performances. Max Fried, he went 6 1/3, 4 hits. I don't think he gave up a run. 6 Ks. He had 102 pitches. Aaron Boone got ripped apart for pulling him when he did, because Luke Weaver comes in and gives up 2 runs immediately after the fact.
Yeah. I don't know if Fried was responsible for those runs or not. I can't remember.
He was not. Weaver got the earned
immediately
runs.
After he got pulled, they scored runs.
Yeah. And that's the managerial spot that gets you in pickles in the playoffs, right? And that's not Aaron Boone's first fiasco, and it won't be his last, right? He actually had another big decision in game 2. We'll talk about in a second. So that goes, that kind of goes a little bit haywire. Anthony Volpe shut a lot of people up with a homer. Now he played okay throughout the series. There was turmoil a little bit there. Jazz Chisholm did not start that game because Garrett Crochet, a lefty, was on the mound. He did an interview post game with his back turned to the media. You're like, oh boy, here we go. Right. Jazz is a very animated player. So, and prideful. The guy's 30-30 player. Right. So I don't really give a shit who's on the mound. He should be in your lineup.
Right.
But he wasn't. And suffice to say, Garrett Crochet's on the other side, and he shoved it, right? Just as much as Skubal did in his, and just as much as Max Fried did, except Crochet racks up a lot more strikeouts, right? 7.2 innings, only 1 earned, 11 strikeouts. Aroldis Chapman just loaded the bases for what seemed to be fun and then mowed everybody down.
Just thought it'd be entertaining. Like, let's make this weird. Yeah.
So Boston Red Sox take first game 3-1. There was a point in time where it's kind of towards the end of the game. Aaron Judge fielded what was a routine ground ball to himself. And the throw came up a little weird. And I don't know if that arm's still bothering him, but Eric Sogard took second base. That Eric Sogard run ended up being very, very big because he scored on a Yoshida single next. Now they added another one, right? They won 3-1, but a lot of people were coming at Judge about that. So I don't know if his arm's 100% yet, which is something to keep an eye out for throughout the rest of the playoffs.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens. Game 2, Yankees win 4-3. Bullpen did their job, but Carlos Rodon, this is the decision I was talking about with Aaron Boone. So contrary to when they took out Fried too soon, they left Rodon in too long.
He's consistent, right?
Yeah, we watched this one together, right? So he gave up 3 runs, tying the ball game, and you're like, what the hell are they doing, man? Like, just take the guy out. And on the flip side, Brian Bayo only went 2 1/3 inning. Like we said, short leash, get the hell out of there, and let's start doing some stuff. I have notes about, what went down, but one of the big parts of the game where Red Sox had guys on first and second kind of late in the game, tried to bunt, really fucked that up, bunted it right
Not
to
sure
the
why
pitcher.
that was confusing.
Yeah, and then Fernando Cruz got out of it, went psycho, which he should have. It's the playoffs. And then Austin Wells hits a single, Jazz scores from first. That's 4-3 game, 1-1, going back to the Bronx.
The Red Sox had opportunity to win that game, and they just made some bad choices.
And they should. You got to put it down. You got to put them down, right? You got to put teams away.
No, you had to put that away for sure.
They let them hang around, and then game 3, which I don't know what I expected to happen, right? Like, okay, the Yankees won, and you don't bat an eye, right? Even if you said the Red Sox won, you wouldn't bat an eye. However, Yankees win 4-0 on the back of Cam Schlittler throwing 8 innings. No earned, 12 strikeouts.
Yeah.
He was pumping. And if this guy is going to be that good throughout the postseason, the Yankees are going to be a problem.
That's a problem. That's a big problem.
Right. He pitched well during the season, and you're like, whatever, who cares? But he shoved it. And kudos to him. Kudos to the Yankees for having faith in him. He went out and did it. The Red Sox countered with Connolly early. He did okay in his first really big postseason start, but then they
shot themselves in the foot.
They left him out there too. The defense didn't really do much for him. They didn't help him out. Right, there was a double by Cody Bellinger that should have been caught. What the hell is his name? Not Brandon Lau. Holy hell, the other Low guy. Nathan. I can't think of his name then. He had an error. So it just got away from the Red Sox 4-0. And it clearly didn't matter because Schlittler, I always forget the last
Schlittler.
Yeah, there's a lur at the end. I definitely typed his name wrong 1 billion times on Twitter this week. But anyway, he wasn't yielding any runs. So the Red Sox weren't scoring any. He wasn't giving any up. 4-0 Yankees. They cruise to the ALDS. They're going to head to Toronto. Do you want to just stay in the AL and do the division?
Let's just go. Let's just move through it here. Why not?
All right. Where do you want to go first?
Let's pivot back to your Mariners. Let's get that going. So I peeked, and I see that you guys don't have to face Skubal until game 2.
Correct.
Is that? And it's a 5-game series, right? So you still, if it goes all 5,
you'll see
him twice.
He'll be on short rest, but not 3 days rest.
How do you feel about seeing him game 2 instead of game 1? Does that change things for you? Does it make you like, we got to put it away early?
Game 1's always important, but game 1 is all more important.
That's fair. Okay.
I mean, it would be great that they don't even give it the opportunity to, like, I don't want this to come back to Seattle, right? Finish the job, be done with it.
Yeah.
It's in
Is it 2-2-1? Is that how it goes on the 5-game? Okay, gotcha.
Correct. Ball's in Seattle's court. There were a lot of questions with the rotation. 2 of them got answered today. They are coming out with George Kirby game 1. First,
Casilla
game 2. Melton. Who for the Tigers, I think it's just a bullpen game.
Yeah,
for them, if I'm not mistaken. He might go 2-3, maybe max. And then Luis Castillo is going to pitch at home game 2. I did like that. I do like that. My initial rotation projection was Castillo, Gilbert, Kirby, Bryce Miller, and then whoever, right? Whoever pitched game 1 would be available game 5. So I was fine interchanging Gilbert and Castillo. However, they come with Kirby. The splits between Kirby and Castillo between home and away are very, very different. So they are much better, much more successful at home. So, and Kirby has pitched very well in the playoffs before. So I'm fine with it. I have no qualms. We ride. The big thing that sucks is Brian Wu still isn't 100% healthy.
Right.
I don't know if he's even going to be on the DS roster.
Ooh,
he threw a bullpen, and he kind of gave a weird little interview. So I don't know if they're going to keep him on the roster and just be like, all right, man, like we do need you. Like this is last ditch effort if it gets down to that, or if they'll just try to conserve him. Good news is they do have 4 starters. If that's start Bryce Miller game 4, they can do that.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about the pitching. The pitching should be there. It's wrong. The offense has to do their job, and the bullpen does need to continue to pitch well. That's my takeaway from the Seattle Mariners, right? But that's postseason baseball, right? You have to score runs. Your bullpen's got to go 4 or 5 strong, or 3 to 4 strong, excuse me, and your starters can't get abused. If George Kirby comes out and gives up 4 in 3 innings, then we're in trouble anyway.
Very true. Yeah.
It's, it is a total team effort. They do have the bullpen to do it. They do have the rotation arms to do it. And right now I am confident for the first time in forever in the lineup taking care of it. So we'll see. I mean, with the Tigers in game 1, they're going to do a bunch of weird shit. With I think they have a couple lefties in their bullpen. They'll be able to create some matchups that are usually platoon-esque for the Mariners. So we'll see how that all goes. I'm excited. I cannot wait. They game doesn't start. I believe it's at 8:30 tomorrow. And it is on. They are FS1. So 8:38 in Seattle on FS1. That's Eastern time. George Kirby first. Did I mess up his name, or is it Troy? It's Troy Melton. He has a 108 ERA this postseason.
All right.
He must have gave up a couple runs in his 1/3 of an inning.
Whoopsie. Yeah. I mean, I feel like Seattle's biggest worry is going to be themselves, because there's, like, on paper, the eye test, everything is Seattle the whole way, right? So
yeah, that's a concern. That's not a spot I'm used to.
Yeah, you guys need to make sure you're not looking ahead and you take care of business, because the Tigers are frisky, right?
Yes, I was going to get to them. This wasn't going to be a strictly we don't talk about the Tigers because the Mariners should take care of business. They have for what it's worth, hand up, I wanted to play the Guardians. Guardians didn't scare me at all, minus their bullshit stuff that happens, their weak ground balls or whatever. The Detroit Tigers, Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green, 30 home run guy, Gleyber Torres, all-star. Spencer Torkelson can run into that. I think he had 25-ish home runs this year.
Sounds right.
And then you get into their bullpen, Kyle Finnegan, Will Vest. They have guys that can do the job. They have guys in the lineup that can do damage all up and down that lineup. Even I can't stand the prick, and he's probably going to do something, but Javi Baez batting 9.
He's had a resurgence this year for sure.
He hit like 500 in that series, and you're like, all right, well, if he's going to do that, we got problems, right? He's going to be on the base path. He can steal a couple bags, right? So exactly to your point, they are frisky. I want Seattle to take commanding lead, and like, sure, the Scooble starts are tough. Like, I'm not saying we're going to go beat them, but you don't get to go through an entire postseason and just be like, I didn't get to face. I didn't have to face
the hard
starters.
guys.
It's going to happen, right? No matter how far you make it or don't make it, you're going to.
Really, anyone's strategy against Scooble is you just got to keep the Tigers to a minimum and survive Scooble for the 7 to 8 innings he's going to pitch. And then once the bullpen comes in, you got to bounce on them.
And it's not for nothing. Seattle has beaten them twice this season. Mind you, that's regular season.
You guys do hit good pitchers very well.
It doesn't make any sense.
This year,
you could give the Mariners some credit saying they game planned very well, but throughout a season, the idea that, we're taking care of all the best pitchers, that's like a weird thing to consider, because you're like, do you guys just only prepare for these guys? Not the AAA guy that just struck out 15 guys the day before. But so I'm confident, but I'm also going to be a nervous wreck the entire time.
As you should be.
I may be joining Jake from Race Trident on his stream. We'll see how
Nice.
I feel if I want to dabble in that world at all. I kind of like to watch in peace. I told everybody, leave me alone. I'm sure I'll get the texts if they lose. Like,
right.
There's a lot riding on me, and I've never been here before. I can't act like I've been here before because I haven't. Right?
Yeah, this is all new to you.
They did beat the Blue Jays a couple years ago in the wild card, but it's like I gotta. This is different. They're in control. They have all the things lined up that they need to get done, and they can. The Tigers are beatable, but if you let them hang around, they will take care of you.
Yeah,
they are good defensively. Kerry Carpenter's a menace out there. He'll probably rob a home run like an asshole. But again, Riley Green, 30 home run guy. Kerry Carpenter, I forget how many he had, but he's a potential 30 home run guy. They have power. They have guys that could run. They have pains in the asses that can just get on base. This isn't going to be an easy series, but man, would I love it to be 3-1, even considering we dropped the Scooble game.
Yeah.
If they don't, I don't want to see them in game 5. That's a death sentence.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I definitely, we'll go ahead and pick because we're going to do this for all of them. I do have you guys 3-1.
I mean, I'm going to take it just because I have to.
Yeah, but I definitely, you need game 1. Period. Right. You've got to win game 1. And if you can beat Scooble, then you might even sweep them. Right. So, but again, you can't let them hang around. They hang around. Nope. That's going to be bad news for you guys. Hey, Chris, I've got a listener question. This was just sent in to us.
Oh, God.
If we put Pete Rose on the Mariners now, how much money would he put down on the Mariners to lose the ALDS?
Who?
This is from our friend Clay.
Yeah, I figured that. How much would he put on them to lose? If Pete Rose was on the Mariners,
yeah,
he would bet against he never bet against his own team.
I know. Clay doesn't know ball. You know that.
I know. No. I'm being an asshole back. He never bet against his own team. So that would mean, I'm going to reverse the question. He would put half of his net worth on the Mariners to take the series.
Love that. Love that.
It's
are you going to bet this series? How about that? I'll ask you that. No? Okay.
No.
I hear you. That's good.
Not.
That's good. Don't bet with your heart. That's never.
I don't know what the odds are. I'll try and find them super quick.
I haven't looked.
I did. I don't even care because I'm gonna see. It's gonna be like minus 150. I'm be like, oh, okay, like everything's fine, and then they're gonna screw me.
You're gonna Don't get that false round. Sense of security.
Oh, it's even worse. They're minus 165.
Oh wow.
They are They are the most favored of any divisional series round.
Of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's problematic.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like,
again, everything is new. They are, they're actually third now to win the World Series behind the Dodgers and Phillies.
Yeah,
at plus 550. So it's just like it's a spot we haven't been, and they got to go. They've done it the entire stretch, right? How many times have I told you, even in person, just go take care of business, go win the game. Screw what anything else happens. Screw Tarek Skubal. You're gonna have to face him anyway. Like, don't worry about tomorrow. Win game 1, or excuse me. Don't worry about Sunday. Win tomorrow, and then we'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out. Yeah, I'm with you. Hey, just so you know, Chris, I am a Mariners fan for the rest of the playoffs with you.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I was like, it would have been the Padres or the Red Sox. Both of them lost. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to back my boy. Let's go Big Dumper. Let's go Mariners. I'll be watching along with you. All right.
All right, pal. I appreciate that. All right, let's jump to the East Coast then. ALDS, Toronto Blue Jays, New York Yankees. I think this is set up to be good too. And game 1 is going to be Luis Gil versus Kevin Gausman, and that is 4:08 on Fox. So Gausman's their guy. They're ready to go with him. Gil has to throw because Fried's going to throw game 2. They named him already.
Okay.
So presumably Fried could go 2 and 5 if he had to. I think sense. They're going to pull the Skubal thing if they must. If I may, I'm going to. I know it wasn't the same thing where the Yankees tracked them down per se, but I feel like there is a chance that same dynamic happens where, all right, Blue Jays won the series. They were comfortably ahead. They won the division, all that. And it's like, I think the Yankees are just a better team. I still don't know if I trust the Blue Jays in a playoff series. I hope they prove me wrong. I hope the Yankees lose, but I don't see it happening. I think the Blue Jays are, and I don't know if Bo Bichette is healthy, by the way.
Right. I don't know the answer to that either. And I will say it's interesting. Like we should be going, this is the Blue Jays series to lose, right? However, I look at the lineups. I look at how the teams have been playing. The Yankees have been playing very good baseball. They were 9-1 down the stretch. They beat the Red Sox, 2-1. So after losing game one, they won the next two, right? So they took care of business. I don't want to say Yankees here. I don't. I should trust the Blue Jays because they showed it all year. Except playoff baseball's different. And I got to ride the hot hand, and right now it looks like that's the Yankees. Now, listen, if Judge is hurt, if Judge is not MVP Judge, that changes the series dramatically.
No. So if he's hurt, that's from an outfield perspective. So his defense drops a little bit. I don't think he's a problem offensively.
I don't know. He didn't do too much against the Red Sox, but it is what it is.
He had a bunch of hits. He hit like 500.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
He just didn't have a home run.
He just didn't hit it hard, yeah.
But not concerned. The thing I want to say is that the Yankees won that series on the back of solid pitching from Fried and Schlittler, right? Even Rodon pitched well, all things considered. Yeah. But their main guys didn't really I think Bellinger, you could call it a double that he had, but that wasn't really a double. No. Aaron Judge, again, got on base, but didn't really produce any of the power. Stanton he missed a homer, right? He had a double. So they didn't really have that ginormous New York Yankee moment that they have, right? That Stanton hits a ball at 7,000 feet and the place goes nuts. And then Judge hits one, or vice versa, right? I think Judge hits in front of him, but they didn't go back to back, right? Jazz couldn't really get going because of the pitching matchups and stuff like that. The bottom of the order produced pretty well. Ben Rice, Austin Wells, Anthony Volpe, right? So those guys were the ones that kind of played unsung heroes in that first round. And I still don't. I think the Yankees have a lot more to give offensively, and I know we're probably discounting what the Blue Jays have done, but I think the Bo Bichette thing hurts a lot, especially in this type of short playoff series. Mm-hmm. I want, personally, the Yankees to lose. I want the Blue Jays to win. And this isn't I'm lying to say this isn't a who would I rather play situation now if the Mariners were to win. However, gun to my head, I do want the Blue Jays over the Yankees.
Interesting. Yeah. I guess that makes sense. I don't know. Look, the Blue Jays have been, they've got guys like Kirk standing up at the end of the year when they needed them.
They still have players. They've got Vlad Guerrero. George Springer had a fantastic season.
A great year. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
He has postseason capability. He's no stranger to the postseason. Say what you want about that. But
I'm with you. I think that I want to give Toronto more of a shot, but my brain won't let me. What do you have?
I don't have a game 2 starter for the Jays yet, so I don't know what direction they're exactly going to go. But give me Blue Jays in 5.
Ooh, I like it. I want to go that direction too, but I can't. I chose the Red Sox hoping that they would pull it off, and they didn't. So I'm going to say Yankees in 5.
3-2. So we got to go in 5 either way.
Yeah, I think this is going to be. I think this series is going to be interesting. If I'm being honest, it might be the second most interesting series we see in this round. So
I think it very well can be because the bullpen for the Yankees pitched well, but for a lot of the season, the story was this bullpen isn't good, right? As evidence, they probably thought the sky was falling when I just deleted it all. Sorry. When Luke Weaver came in and gave up runs behind Rodon, right? So Devin Williams, I think, pitched an inning or two of decent relief. So it might boil down to bullpens. I think it's going to be timely hitting, and it's just going to be who gets it done. Does Vlad shine or does Judge shine? Does Stanton shine or does Springer shine? And you know what? It'd be a great series if they all did. And it was just like a 7-6 baseball game every time and, stressed out. I would really like to watch that. It's going to be, that starts at 4:00 tomorrow. I'm excited for the full slate, by the way. Tomorrow is I think there's only 2 games out of the 5 that all 4 games are in one day. So Saturday is all 4, and then Sunday's AL, Monday's NL.
Yep.
And then it's all screwed up for a little while. And then Wednesday will be another 4-game set.
Yeah.
So I got Blue Jays 3-2. You have Yankees 3-2. I'm excited. I'm through the roof. I know it's hard to tell. Yes. We are on Zoom if people can't tell, by the way, but I'm over here. I'm twiddling my thumbs because we got all this crazy ass baseball going on tomorrow. And I got nothing to watch right now. I think this is strictly coming from a guy who has a team that got a first round bye. I think a bigger benefit would be playing this day, no extra day off.
Yeah, no, right? I hear you. Yeah,
wouldn't that be an additional benefit for winning the bye?
It would be, yeah. But also super unfair.
Why is it unfair?
Because those other teams have been playing for, a few
win your division,
straight.
Play better.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Chris.
The Yankees have a better record than the Mariners, so that's a tough sell.
It is tough. That's a tough sell for sure. But hey,
all right, but anyway,
we'll see what happens.
Let's jump to the NL. We'll start. I think I deleted. Oh no, let's start with this one. I think it was a fun series. It didn't. We were both wrong on this, but the Chicago Cubs, they're going to the NLDS. They took care of business against the Padres, and I'll start by asking you this: do you think the Cubs won the series, or do you think the Padres just simply didn't do enough to win the series?
I don't think the Padres did enough, which I mean, I don't want to underestimate the Cubs. Good for them. Obviously, Wrigley is electric. I mean, my boy Dansby had a hell of a series defensively.
Oh, he played great.
They played well, but I don't know. I just don't feel like that. I mean, the Padres bullpen stepped up in game 2. I just don't feel like the Padres showed up. I don't feel like they showed up. And I want to give the Cubs more credit, but I can't. So I'm with you. I think the Padres lost that series.
And that, like you said, that's not a slight at the Cubs. It was just the Padres are the favorite. They had it lined up. Now we were a little off. We weren't aware of who was going to start, but Nick Pivetta through game 1. He pitched okay.
Pitched well.
He gave up 2 runs in 5 innings, 9 strikeouts. You would assume well enough to win. They lose 3-1, right? The Padres didn't do enough. Tatis really never got going. I think Machado did hit a home run in game 2, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see.
I feel
he did hit a home run in game 2.
The Padres, I think they got up in almost every game. I know they led in game 1 and 3, which they lost both those games. And I think they led in game 2 first as well. So it's like the Padres got up, but then just lost the games. They just blew it late.
I mean, just in game 1 alone.
I'm wrong. They're not up on game 3. That's on me. So it was 1 and 2 that they're up
they
on.
never scored in game, right?
No, they scored in the 9th in game 3.
Gotcha. So game 1, Matthew Boyd took the mound because Cade Horton still not ready. I don't even know if he's going to be ready for the NLDS, and that'll hurt them a little bit.
Yeah.
So Matthew Boyd, like we said, short leash. He went 4.1 innings. He stranded a ton of runners, though. He got a lot of big outs. He only gave up 1 run. The bullpen went 4 2/3, didn't give up a hit, didn't give up a walk, didn't give up a run, 4 strikeouts. Who cares about the strikeout numbers when you're not allowing anybody on the base path? So that whole platoon of people that they threw out there from the bullpen, great job, right? They did what they had to do, held the Padres to 4 hits. Game 2, they went with an opener and then went to Shota Imanaga. Fine, I guess.
Weird
Shota
idea, but whatever.
The opener gave up a run. Shota gave up 2, and then there wasn't another run scored the rest of the game, right? Padres won 3-0. Like I said, Machado hit a 2-run home run. So the Padres took care of business. And like you said, they were throwing out their bullpen, and they just weren't giving up runs either. Right. Mason Miller was shoving his ass off. He dotted 104 great on the outside corner. Yep. So the pitching was there, I would say, but the bats just weren't. And then finally, game 3, Cubs take 3-1. Cubs went up 2-0 early, and I know I was texting it a little bit with my brother-in-law, with a couple other friends, of like, Cubs need to score again. I think the Padres are going to hang around, right? A 2-run game in the playoffs is stressful, right? A guy just gets
very
on
stressful.
In a home run. It's a tie game, right? It happens really fast. So they ended up getting one more in the 7th. I think that was via a Michael Busch homer, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Michael Busch extended it to 3, and then a lot of shit went down in the top of the 9th. Jackson Merrill hits the leadoff home run. They get guys around the base paths. I forget the exact situation. It was either first or second. I think it was first and second with no outs, and umpire rings up Xander Bogaerts on ball 4, and it was bad. It was bad. So they ring him up. That changes the complexion of the entire game. However, Cubs prevailed. Don't apologize for nothing. Cubs win 3-1.
I mean,
we're going to the next round.
Yeah, here's the deal. There are 5 teams that scored 1 run. Like, there's 5 different games where a team scored 1 run. None of those teams won, right? You can't. Yeah. You have to score more than 1, or you're not going to win, like, in playoff baseball.
There's a lot of other situations where they could have put runs across the board, right? Yep. So it sucks that it comes down to that, right? Next year with ABS, that would change, right? That would be called a ball. Whole game's different. However, it is what it is. Cubs win. Take nothing away from them. They did their job. Now they get to face a familiar foe in the Milwaukee Brewers. And I'm on record, at least, saying I don't feel confident in the Brewers in the playoffs, but I think I'm going to eat my words, and I'm almost going to have to say I'm more confident in them than the Cubs in this series.
I mean, it's tough. Like the Brewers are throwing out.
There's Peralta. So Matthew Boyd is going to start game 1 because he, like I said, he only went 4 1/3, so he's fine. And if they're going to pull him after 4 innings anyway, then he can go multiple days.
No one's announced for either team for Monday, so
that it's hard to do that. With it being so long, there's so many options for them at this point.
I mean, it's very true. I'm with you. I don't trust the Brewers either, but I think the Brewers are the team here. Like, I think that they have deeper starters, maybe. I don't know, man. It's tough, right? I want to trust the Brewers because they showed it all year. I mean, the closest team to 100 wins. Best record in baseball. So, we need to go Brewers. Because, like, bet against the Brewers, especially the Cubs, which the Cubs, other than the Tigers, I think are the weakest of the teams left. So, it should be the Brewers.
If I told you that the Cubs would have a, we'll call it serviceable Cade Horton, would that change your opinion at all? That's not information I have. I'm just asking generically.
Ooh. It makes it more interesting. I agree. I definitely. I think, like, right now, I'm leaning towards Brewers 3-1 possible sweep. To be honest with you, I just don't think the Cubs have it. I think the Cubs got lucky against the Padres because they didn't have to do much. And I don't think the Brewers are going to give them that kind of series.
Okay. Well, via DraftKings, the Brewers are minus 125. Cubs are plus 105. So clearly they're the favorite.
Yeah.
So you're saying Brewers 3-1?
Yeah, I'm going to say Brewers 3-1. Yep.
All right. I'm not going to change my mind here. I'm going to stick with the Brewers, but I'm going to go in 5.
Yeah. I can see it going to 5, especially if they get Horton, you know what I mean? Like that would make sense, but
I could see it going 5 anyway, though. Right? They're familiar with each other. They've seen each other a decent bit. Right? The Brewers are probably going to come with Woodruff, and then probably Quinn Priester, I would assume.
Okay, so if I were to ask you,
he's going to come out of the pen.
He is going to come out of the pen. What team do you think has the most to prove? Who would you think that team would be?
The most to prove?
Yeah, of all the teams left, who do you think? Which team is going? Oh, we have the most to prove.
The Seattle Mariners.
No, I don't think so. I think it's the Brewers. I think the Brewers are
with everything
the Brewers
you just
are
said.
Hearing,
I hear you.
Everyone is chirping that it's like that they have the best record, but they're not the best team. Like they're hearing over and over how they're not the best team in baseball when they have been all year, and I think they have the biggest chip on their shoulder. So I could be wrong. Who knows? But like to me, and the Mariners have played well. Obviously, I think you're, but I also think you're a little biased because they've never made it. But you know who's never made it either? The fucking Brewers, dude.
I hear you.
So the Brewers are the Mariners of the National
I
League.
I think those
really
are the two teams in that way, right? Because, but that's what everybody say, right? Here's the thing, and that is a different story. You're right, because nobody's saying the Mariners can't do it. Correct. Everybody believes in the Mariners. So from my fandom, from my perspective, it's a failure to not live up to that hype, right?
I understand that. Yeah.
So maybe it's a different answer to the same question, right? In the team would be disappointed to not live up to that expectation. Right. On the flip side, like you said, the Brewers are being shunned, if you will, right? They don't have a chance. They can't get there.
Even
if they beat the Cubs, how are they going to beat the one of the next two teams, right? Whatever. It's always a what if they can't do it. So they're trying. Okay. As far as what they have to prove, I'll rescind my statement and agree. Okay. But I need you to acknowledge that my perspective still makes sense too, where I
completely agree.
There's pressure because everybody's like, oh shit, here's the Mariners. They should win the World Series. They're the AL favorite all of a sudden. And you're like, whoa.
I do
haven't
think
been here before.
The Mariners are the darling right now. 100%. I really do think that. And
the Brewers are very far from that.
They're the ugly stepchild, 100%. And so we'll see what happens, but I do think they have the most to prove.
They've got the arms to do it. They've got enough
they got the
bats,
dudes,
right? Yep. They've got Yelich, Jackson Trio, and then all of the guys in between that do stuff, right? Bryce Trang, Isaac Collins is out there doing stuff. I don't even know the Reds. William Contreras, I believe, is going to be healthy to play. He wrote one of those Players Tribune articles, so he's ready to rock.
Yeah, right? I mean, Contreras is a 4 WAR. Terang is a 5.5.
Yeah, no.
Frelick is a 3. Yeah, like these guys play
Terang
ball,
is like a top 3 second baseman in WAR.
Yes,
and he might be 1 if I
might be. I think
he's
1. I think he is 1.
He's 1 or 2. He's up there, right? So they have. They're not necessarily all household names, right? I named the Yelich, the Trio,
Yelich, right?
Right, those guys. But Contreras is too. But again, your Terang, your Frelick, those guys play well defensively. They do the right things. They are speedy. They could steal bases, and that's a big deal in the playoffs.
Love it.
So I like my pick. I'm going to stick with it, but I wanted to talk through that too, because for what it's worth, the Cubs are more power, right? If Kyle Tucker turns it on. Seiya Suzuki, we watch what he does. Carson Kelly doesn't scare me, but he had a very good season. And then to the point you had, if Dansby keeps playing well, like that extends that lineup a lot, right? Dansby, Michael Busch, he bats leadoff for whatever reason. But anyway, he bats leadoff. Who the hell else am I missing? PCA. He could PCA. At any point he could just become MVP front runner. He wasn't, right? He fell off, but we know that that's in there, especially over. I mean, he did it for over half a season, but in short stints, PCA could turn it on.
Mm-hmm.
So
we know it's there, but you want to know.
I think this is going to be an
10.
unheralded, really good series, right?
Yeah.
Like this is my least favorite, right? If you were like, hey, Chris, you could only watch 3 series, I would probably not watch this one.
Okay.
Right?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think I'm with you.
I guess I prefer your answer. My team's in it, so they can't be the one out.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Yeah, this is the one I am. Well,
if you
I don't know.
If
the Yankees,
like,
the
if
Yankees
you had
Blue
something
Jay
to do during the hours that these guys were playing, you'd be like, okay, I could be available.
You're right. Yeah.
Right. That's my point, right? You'd make yourself available to be outside.
So here's the deal. I don't like the Yankees either. So like, I feel like that I care less about that one. Whereas this one, I feel like I care about the Cubs and I think the Brewers timeline is interesting. So I would argue it's the Yankees Blue Jays.
But
you're going
to watch Aaron Judge.
Probably. Yeah.
Again, I don't know. That's my takeaway. I think this is the least heralded series, at least for me.
No, you're right about that. You're right about that.
I will watch. I will have everything on. I've got my 3 TVs. You could see, that they exist. I will be a sports hub tomorrow. I can't wait. And it's going to be great. Let's get to the last one. Last wild card round. This kind of went exactly how we thought it was. I'm not going to even go into breaking down the games.
Yeah.
However, the very first at bat of the series was a Shohei home run. So it's just like,
I think everyone saw that and was like, yeah, okay, this is going to end up how we think it is.
Yeah, you're like, again, you're Hunter Green. You know, I was talking to Reds fan Dan, and you're like, you know what, Hunter Green, he could do some stuff.
Maybe.
And if you win a series, or win a game out of 3, anything could happen. And he got beat up. Shohei ended up with 2 home runs. Teoscar Hernandez hit 2 home runs. Tommy Edman hit 2 home runs.
Oof.
Oh, and again, this is the let's suck off the Dodgers section. But you know who I didn't name? Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith. Right? So they can do it in a multitude of ways. They will continue to do it in a multitude of ways. Oh, and for what it's worth, Blake Snell threw 7 innings, 2 earned, and
shoved
9
it. Yeah.
First time ever throwing over 6 innings in the playoffs for him. So maybe that flipped the switch. I know it's against the Reds, but maybe he, flipped the switch there. The Reds, they need more time. They need to go regroup. They need to go get some bats in the offseason. Commendable. You made the playoffs.
Congrats. Like we said,
collapse.
Like we said on the last episode, congrats to the Reds for making it.
Yes.
They may have been the worst team to make the playoffs in a long time, but they still made it. And their reward is the Dodgers. And the Dodgers scored 18 runs in 2 games.
Yeah, the overall pitching plan
damn.
was weird too. Like obviously they had Hunter Green, that was fine. But Lodolo threw in relief for like an inning. And then they didn't even throw Andrew Abbott. I don't know. I know Lodolo threw at the last game of the season that they needed him, but it was like that was all weird. You got to give yourself at least a chance, but maybe they retool in the offseason. But the real story is the Dodgers. Yamamoto did his thing as well, so they're coming in to do whatever they need to do. Roki Sasaki in the bullpen, at least for the rest of this season, is a goddamn problem.
Yeah.
A lot of people are pointing out that throughout his ramp up time when he came back with the Dodgers, he wasn't throwing very hard and he was throwing in the hundreds. So I don't know if that was just a ramp up and now it's all right, man, let it rip.
Looked nasty.
So I'm not really sure what his story is, but if he can be extendable, right? If he could go 2 innings out in 3 of these games,
like we said, the playoffs game, the hook is fast, right? If one of their starters,
fixed a lot of these bullpen woes.
Oh my God,
the bullpen isn't very good. Even against the Reds, the bullpen gave up some runs, so that bullpen is gettable. You can get after them, and they win the lovely prize in what I think is the most interesting matchup of the divisional round. They're going to play the Philadelphia Phillies. They got to go to Citizens Bank Park at 6:30. Tomorrow, that game will be on TBS. By the way, the NL games are on TBS. The AL games are on Fox, and the Mariners are on FS1 for what it's worth. But anyway, pitching matchup for game 1 is Shohei Ohtani versus Christopher Sanchez. Game 2, all they named is Blake Snell. I don't know who the Phillies are going. It's going to be Ranger Suarez or Luzardo.
I don't see why it's not Suarez, if I'm being honest.
I don't think there's a. I agree, but anyway, it wasn't officially named.
Right.
Let me look at the odds if you'd like to know them.
Yeah, I'm interested. To me, I feel like this is probably the closest of the four.
What do you think the odds are? Who do you think is the favorite in the series?
I think the Dodgers are the favorite.
Yeah, they're the same as the Brewers. They're minus 125. Phillies are plus 105.
Yeah.
So
it's technically tied. Okay.
It's close. I don't know. I think both teams. This is part of me wishes this was the championship series.
Oh, not part of me. I wish this was the championship series for sure. I think these are the two best teams in the NL. Again, sorry Brewers, shitting on you again.
They might be the two best teams in Major League Baseball.
I don't disagree, and I think that it's a shame that this is only going to go 5. But I will say, for the Phillies, it's better. It's only going 5 because they're not hanging. They're not hanging with the Dodgers 7. They don't have the pitching for it, but they can. Yeah, they can. No, they don't. Without Wheeler, this is not the same team. This is not the same terrifying team without Wheeler. I mean, yes, the lineup is amazing. Yes, they still have good pitchers, but Wheeler, having that top 1A.
I agree. I hear you there, but I think that they have depth, and it's not like they're going to game 4. Like Aaron Noah could throw game 4. That's not a bum.
No, he's not a bum.
He had a rough year, sure, but he is not a slouch. He's been in the postseason. He's pitched in postseason baseball. So that's my point. I agree. No, they're not Zach Wheeler. Christopher Sanchez is not Zach Wheeler. Ranger Suarez isn't Zach Wheeler. So the idea that you could just be like push the Zach Wheeler button and he's out.
Exactly.
That's a whole, and that's important. However, I still think the Phillies are very strong in a lot of different ways. Trey Turner sets the tone. Bryce Harper is a postseason freak. Yes. Kyle Schwarber. Hell, again, down the lineup. JT Realmuto, Alec Boehm. Castellanos comes up with big hits. I don't even know if he'll be in the starting lineup or not. The Phillies have guys that can change games in a lot of different ways. They can get it done. Oh, and they have the absolute psychopaths of Philadelphia and Citizens Bank Park at their back. 6 o'clock's late enough for them to get going. It's not an afternoon game. It's not necessarily midnight either, but that's enough time for them to get ready to go. Phillies game 1's a big deal. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, game 1's always a big deal, but I do think Philly almost has to take both of those first 2 home games.
Both?
I think they have to have both of them because if they don't get both of them, they're in a world of trouble. And yes, the Phillies are stacked. Here's the thing. We're talking about the 2 best teams in baseball. You're talking about the freaking Dodgers. And again, here's the suck off the Dodgers section of this podcast.
Yeah, this is on you. No, I know.
I mean, we've got Freddie, we've got Mookie, we've got Kiki, we've got Tosker, we've got Shohei.
You said Kike Hernandez before Shohei Ohtani.
No, I'm just saying,
I know. They're
you know what I mean?
Too.
He shows up in the playoffs. He always has. This team is terrifying. And by the way, they're pitching, especially if we've talked about, they figured out the bullpen problems. They might get Kershaw back. Who knows?
I think he'll be out of the bullpen.
He'll be out of the bullpen. Snell's figured it out. We still haven't seen, Glasnow. Dude, this team. Good God, dude, the Dodgers.
I saw reports Glasnow might go out of the pen. He might be like a Shohei guy.
Jesus.
Because I also don't know how long Shohei could go.
That's fair. Yeah, because they want his bat. They want his bat. Yeah.
Well, naturally, but I'm saying I don't know if Shohei can go 6. Right. So I think Glasnow is going to be at the ready, if I'm not mistaken.
So they're going to go Shohei,
because I also don't think Glasnow is completely stretched out either.
That's fair. Look, I think it's going to be a fun series. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun series. It's going to be
awesome, and it's close, and these teams are very good. So I don't want to. I did it a lot in the other series to put a team down to put up a team. I don't want to do that. This is to me this is just
fight.
Let the best team win. Right, here we go.
Exactly.
And what's going to happen is going to happen.
I'm not shitting on the Phillies. I'm not saying they're a bad team. They're not. So. I think that these are. I think you're right when you say they're the two best teams in baseball. They are, and this series is going to be a heavyweight fight, and it's going to be fun to see. But I do think the Phillies lose an edge on the Dodgers because it's a 5-game series. I mean, they gain an edge because it's a 5-game series. A 7-game series, they would be in a lot more trouble. So I think it's going to be very interesting.
I agree. And, before the season or throughout the season, all the reports now, right? Phillies and Dodgers, 2 big spenders. Phillies and Dodgers expected to be here. Phillies and Dodgers expecting to be World Series contenders. Here we are, right? They collide a little earlier than probably what was anticipated, right? We probably would have assumed the Dodgers were going to win 105 games like they did every year. But what did we say? They kind of lull everybody to sleep. They kind of limped into the playoffs.
Sleeping giant.
They only won the division by 3 games or 2.5 or whatever the hell. It can't be a half.
Yeah, they only won 93 games or something like that.
Oh,
right?
heaven forbid.
95. Yeah.
So and the Phillies consolation prize is you get to play the Dodgers at home, and like you said, it's 5-game series at home. If you take game 1, you've got control, and like you said, maybe they piggyback and take 2, and now they only got to win 1 of 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to take the Phillies. I'm going to go 3-2.
Ooh, okay.
I think that they've been through enough. I think they've seen the Dodgers enough. I think that I don't think the Phillies are afraid of them. And I'm not, that's not to say the Reds were or whoever plays them next would be, but it's just, I think the Phillies have enough star power to combat what the Dodgers are and not be like, oh shit, it's Shohei. Right. Like,
right. Yeah,
it's like, okay, you have Shohei, like we have Bryce Harper. And I know all intents and purposes, they're not the same thing, but like Bryce Harper's our guy.
I know what
too,
you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's where I'm at. 3-2 Phillies. Let's ride.
I'm going to say the opposite. I think it's 3-2 Dodgers. Okay. But I do think this game goes 5. But again, the series goes 5. The Phillies have to win those first 2 games or they're in trouble.
I hear you. They steal one in Philly. It will get turned on its head if that happens.
Yep.
But we'll see. Teams steal games all the time. So we have
absolutely.
I have 3 of the series going 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Blue Jays winning 3-2, Phillies 3-2, Brewers 3-2, and then my super homer pick, the Mariners 3-1 because I have to. You have Mariners 3-1, Brewers 3-1, and then Dodgers 3-2, Yankees 3-2. So we're in cahoots on Mariners and Brewers and opposite on the others.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be
pumped,
fun,
man. It's a big day tomorrow. I don't think we told anybody when we're doing this. This is Friday night. You're going to see this super early Saturday morning, so you should be able to get your fix in
before it starts.
Prior to the games. Games start at what time? 2:00, I believe. I had it pulled up. I'm sorry.
No, it's totally okay. First game is 2, Cubs and Brewers. Yep.
2:00, 4:00, 6:30, 8:30 is what you're going to be looking at. So mix that into your college football day. We got a hell of a sports day. I think there's some UFC fights at night. It's a big sports day. If you keep me on any longer, I'm going to keep going on about the Mariners. Okay. So I think we can end it here.
Yeah,
but, man, I am excited. It's a long time. I got over 20. I still have like 23 hours until the Mariners' first pitch.
Listen, man, you just need to go to sleep. We're going to play golf first thing tomorrow to take your mind off of it and just enjoy the ride, my friend. So
that's right,
all of you who've listened at home, thank you so much. Listening, we'll be back after the next series wraps up, and we'll do this again. So until then, my name is Andrew.
And I'm Chris.
And this is the Coach's Sons Podcast.